Welcome to Carroll's Corner MMA podcast. I'm Kyle Carroll, and today we are joined by bare-knuckle boxer Ruben "Bad Boy" Warr, who's fighting JC DeLone on BKFC 76 in Fort Worth, Texas, at the Dickies Arena.
Let's go.
So, Ruben, thanks for joining me here on the Carroll's Corner MMA podcast. I appreciate you taking the time.
No, thanks for having me, man. It's an honor.
So, let's dive into, your background and how you got into. Tell us about how you transitioned from MMA and kickboxing into the bare knuckle boxing, and how was your training evolved specifically for bare knuckle boxing?
I feel like bare knuckle boxing was more my style. I'm a in the pocket, stand my ground kind of fighter. I like to just stay in the pocket and exchange and just go toe to toe. So I've been fighting, my whole life since I was a kid. I never was afraid of bare knuckle, of fighting bare knuckle. I've always fought in high school and even before that. I think bare knuckle was just a perfect sport for me, and my power shows it all, So I just felt like it was the right fit. I didn't really change much technique. I just was able to implement more of my game plan because it was more my style.
You're coming off a tough unanimous decision loss to Kanikov in November 20. What did you focus on to bounce back for this fight?
I mean, I just felt like I fought with a lot of emotion. I was very angry. They were in my room talking to me about Kai because Kai was in my inbox, talking smack, and then that kind of got in my head. And just my camp was kind of off. I was in a whole separate camp. I was trying to be close to my wife, who I married recently. It was a new camp. They didn't really speak a lot of English, and no excuses. I felt like Bovar did, what he had to do, but I stood my ground. I didn't run like he did, and I feel like BKFC gave me more respect for that because I was there to fight. I wasn't there to run. He was studying Forrest Gump. I was studying to fight. Uh, I'm not. I didn't really take that as a lesson. As a loss. I took that as a lesson to control my emotions. Now I had so much pressure going in, trying to get the fastest knockout. I wanted to get because everybody knows that California did me dirty on that time. It wasn't 6 seconds. Everybody knows it wasn't 6 seconds. So I was so like, I got to be number one. I got to be number one. And instead of just being me, this fight, I'm just going to be me, have fun, and just snipe the man, and just do what I do. That's what I do, man. I go out there and snipe people. I'm not worried about anything else.
You had the emphatic first round TKO over Lorenzo Coca. You just referenced it, the 6 seconds. The BKFC 59 in March of 24 was explosive. What clicked for you in that performance?
It's a heartbreak, bro. That motivation of the heartbreak is what really did it, honestly. I mean, I was at the gym 4 in the morning every single day because I couldn't sleep. So I used that pain as motivation to get me in the gym, and I had a good friend that was there with me through the whole process, and we worked our butts off, and I had the vision that I was gonna knock Robbie out. I didn't know I was gonna do it that fast, but I knew if I connected, it was gonna be end over. And it just so happened to be as soon as he came in. So
that's awesome. Yeah, it was a heck of a knockout, that's for sure. I guess let's shift to your mindset and strategy. Bare knuckle fights demand a different mindset. How do you mentally prepare for the intensity and risk of BKFC?
Bro, I'm a dog. You gotta kill me. You gotta kill me. I'm a really dog, bro. Like in life, in everything that I do, I've been a dog, man. I came from the bottom, and people don't know what it's like to go from the bottom, stand your ground, and get to the top with nothing but hard work and overcoming adversity. People don't know what that's like. So, I'm a different dog, bro. You can't just put me out. You gotta kill me. So I feel like that's the difference between me and these fighters, man. Like I'm all about standing my ground, staying in the pocket, going toe to toe. Whether it's bare knuckles, 10-ounce, 16-ounce. Bro, I fought 2 weeks after that Bovar fight and knocked the man out cold. So
that's wild.
Yeah, like fighting is all I know, bro. I've been doing it since I was a kid, and people just don't give me that respect.
Yeah, it definitely takes mental toughness, that's for sure.
Well, yeah, and to put on these performances. Look, I'm a single dad. I'm a single dad. I put my kids first. I've been putting my kids first. I took 4 years off to support my kids as a father, not to chase my dreams. Dedicated, I left the sport to be a dad. And people don't really know that. People don't know the responsibility of a father, yet alone a father that does everything by himself.
Hmm.
And so I left the sport and to come back 1 year of coming back and look what I've done. Look what the name I've built in the BKFC world. The whole world knows who I am in 1 year of being in BKFC. So I feel like I'm on the right path. I'm doing what I'm supposed to be doing, and it's showing, it's paying off finally.
Absolutely. Do you adjust your game plan round by round, especially after going the distance in a longer fight?
But yeah, the Boulevard fight was, I ain't gonna lie to you, was I had a whole different mindset. My mindset was I'm gonna kill this man. And instead of, hey, let's make this a chess match because Bovar's a smart fighter. I was just trying to kill the man. I didn't care about nothing else. Just same thing, Texas. I'm gonna try to kill the man, and except I'm gonna do it smart. I'm gonna time it. I'm not gonna rush it. But y'all go see. I'm gonna beat the shit out of this man.
Who are the key figures, coaches, partners at Triumph Combat shaping your bare knuckle fighting skills?
Well, I got a lot of gym partners that help me and push me and motivate me. I'm pretty much my whole team. My main coach, Damon Bell, he fought in bare knuckle, so he knows the style. He knows what it's like. And, we implement a lot of game plans for this fight. And Cam McGillian, my boxing coach, my pad work master, we grind. We just work hard. We work in the swamps. It's different, bro. When you come from the bottom, like I said, we're in a tiny ass little gym. Everyone's grinding. Everyone's trying to eat. Everyone's hungry. And so we're all just training together, grinding together, building together. I feel like we don't need that big team. We don't need world class coaches. We all just put in the work together.
Absolutely. What's your sparring regimen and recovery routines?
We don't
Do
spar hard. We don't spar hard. We
Okay.
don't spar. Yeah, we don't spar hard. I used to. I ain't gonna lie. I used to. And to be
Hmm.
honest, I felt like I wasn't really learning much because I was hurting more people than really sparring. We're more technical. I want to be more technical. I want to outclasses me, and I ain't really worried. I know I could spar hard
Hmm.
and stand my ground versus anybody. But I feel like being saving my brain and saving my wars for the ring is a better option for me and for my team for real.
Yeah,
So
definitely. It's interesting to know that from you because MMA, you see all these guys, they spar a lot. Boxing, they spar a lot. Kickboxing, a lot of sparring, and you could kind of go live, obviously, with the gloves on, but you don't
yeah,
wear
yeah,
gloves with
yeah.
bare knuckle boxing, so you can't really do a whole lot of live sparring.
No, but that's what I'm saying. We do more technical sparring. It's more rounds, longer rounds, but we're here to press the action, snipe, move out of the way, work counters. We're not here to, play sock and boppers, bro. Nah, I'm good, man. We ain't trying to do all that. Especially when you're sparring hard for what? For no money? You go
Yeah,
hurt that brain for what? Free? I'm good.
yeah,
I want my
absolutely.
teeth. I'm too handsome. I don't wanna. I'm good. I'm gonna save my brain for the ring.
It's an interesting concept because a lot of colleges and professional teams now are kind of going through that concept where very light practices when it comes to contact, and then game day, that's when you throw it all in. Saving the brain
Yeah,
is just
it's well, your brain can only take so much, bro. I don't
absolutely.
care what anybody says. I don't care if you're, the greatest Mexican of all time. Your brain and your chin can only take so much, brother. I ain't trying to be brain dead by the time I'm 50, 60. I want to see my kids get married, have a family.
Amen.
I want to see my sexy ass wife every night. I don't want to, be brain dead and hurt by the time I'm 50, 60. I want to do it smart and just lay people out without getting hit.
Absolutely. Yeah, you don't want to forget who they are. Um,
Yeah.
what's your pre-fight ritual the day of a BKFC event?
Honestly, I normally when I'm normally with my kids, so we always do some fun shit. I don't really be thinking about the fight until really I start walking into the arena. Then I'm like, all right, now it's game on. I gotta change my mindset. But I really relax and kind of just chill out, man. I really don't be doing much. I'm a simple man, bro. I'm just I kind of just isolate and just relax. And then when it's time to go in there, it's like a switch. It's like, tired. It's time to kill this man. It's time to go to work. Time to go eat. So really, it's fun, bro. For me, it's fun. You know, fighting whether I knock him out, whether I don't knock him out, whether I have a war. I love this shit. You know, it's my life has been a war. You know, my last name is a war. So, you know, that war's me. You know, you don't have a war without me. So it is what it is, you know, and people can run their mouth about me, but I mean the performances speak for themselves, and I think that's why a lot of people talk a lot of shit is because they can't do what I do. And I'm 36. 36, full-time dad, own a company. I do it all, brother. I work. My wife's in Cali, so I'm traveling back and forth. You know, I got my kids majority of the time. You know, their mom's a good mom, but she just handles their school, and I take care of the rest, bro. And I run my company here in the city of Louisville. We're 4 months old, and we're already, you know, Google verified. Got 10 Google 5-star reviews. 4 months old. You know, I'm just grinding, bro. I'm grinding to give my family a life I never had. You know,
Absolutely.
people don't know what that's like, bro. I met my mom at 28. I didn't meet my mom until I was 28. My
Wow.
first fight my mom's ever seen me fight was Albuquerque. 35 years old. My mom's never even seen me fight. And so for BKFC, they may not have paid me a lot of money, but they gave me more than money. Made more than money can ever offer me. They made me closer to my mom, gave me and my mom a relationship I am so grateful for because I've always prayed to have a relationship with my mom. And I felt like me being in BKFC that brought us a lot closer. Met my wife when I knocked Robbie out. I met my wife and I told my wife I was gonna marry her that night. First time I met her, I told her I'm gonna marry you. I asked her if she was single. She said yes, and nah, not for long. I'm taking out the market for life. Now she's my wife. So it's to go to BKFC as like that was the escape of my anger, bro. You know, being gunned down, almost killed. You know, numerous times. 2023, shot all year. You know, put at gunpoint, robbed. You know, over just bad things in my life that was happening. I used the gym as kind of like, all right, I need to get back in the gym, just kind of change my mindset, hopefully heal my mind, and I use that anger. And it brought me to the tryouts, and now I'm here, bro. I don't know. It just kind of happened. Now I'm just grateful. You know, it's like I see light finally. It's gonna be a different. You're gonna see a different fighter than the last fight. You know, because I'm fighting. I'm fighting because I have a purpose. You know, I'm fighting because my kids and my family rely on me. I got a family now. I got a wife. I got 3 kids. So, I never had a family ever. So to have a family, to have God on my side, to have my team on my side, to have support finally, never been supported, always been hated on. So it's different, bro. It's like night and day for me.
Absolutely. And your nickname Bad Boy and the fast knockouts create hype. How do you see your persona connecting to the BKFC fans?
So me and BKFC, I kind of the bad boy definitely stays. I feel like BKFC thinks I'm definitely the bad boy because people don't see like I don't be kissing no ass. You know, I don't kiss
Hmm.
nobody's ass. And so I've given David Feldman a mouth. And when I don't get paid, when I don't get my money right away, I mean, it's like, they get that. And, some of these fighters, they run the mouth. And then when I bark, it's like, oh shit, this man's crazy. It's so I feel like I'm living up to the name, but I don't really try to live up to it. It's just who I am. No, it's just me.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Do you get a lot of like positive feedback from the fans of
Oh
BKFC?
yeah, I get a lot. So my mom is crazy. So my mom, she Uber drives,
Hmm.
and she lives in Texas, so she'll be there, and she picks these people up, and they're wearing BKFC, whoop, whoop, whatever. And my mom's like, "Oh, my son fights for them." They're like, "Who's your son?" And Ruben Warr. Oh my God, that guy's so badass. And my mom was calling me, "Hey, you got these fans here in Texas."
That's
So it's
awesome.
cool. It's cool. It's cool because like my mom sees it. I'm a very like in the dark, in the closet. I don't really be trying to get the fame. The fame kind of just comes to me. I guess it's because the work speaks for itself. But it's cool that my mom gets to enjoy a little bit of the fame more than I do because because if anybody's gonna enjoy it, it's gonna be her. So
That's awesome.
yeah, yeah, yeah. So it's cool that my mom gets to, wow, like my son really is doing it. You know.
Absolutely. Now, are there any particular fights or fighters that you study as inspiration for your style, or is it just all you?
Yeah, yeah. So my favorite boxer is obviously Canelo. I love Canelo's style. I just love the guy that stand. I love standing the ground. I love standing the ground. I love head movement. I love moving. I love being elusive, but being in the pocket and throwing with all intentions. So Canelo's like one of my favorite boxers. I like to say I like to mimic. I like Mayweather's defense. I like Pacquiao's speed. I like Pacquiao's forward movement. So there's a lot of Lomachenko's movement. So there's a lot of boxers that I like. Sweet Pea. So I kind of just take little things by certain people. I trained under Anderson Silva before, so I've picked his brain. I've picked Ronda Rousey's brain. I picked Tony Ferguson's brain, Pedro Munoz's brain. So Bobby Green, and me and him used to have wars, bro. And so, I've trained with the best in the world, at a very young age, even homeless, sleeping in a car, trained with fucking number two, number three, the top 10 guys in the world, sparring, getting my ass whooped, getting back in my car. So imagine sleeping in your car, waking up just to get your ass whooped, to go back in your car and you got to sleep again to go back to work. It
Jeez.
sucks, bro. It's like a whole different. Am I even supposed to be here? Like, dude, that's what you think. Like, after so many ass beatings, you're spawned world champions, so that's all you get. World champions,
Yeah.
world champions, world champions. You don't get no breaks. So, I've sparred the top of the world. I've fought the top of the world. I'm not afraid of nothing.
Hey, man, props to you, man. Looking ahead to BKFC 76 in Texas, what excites you most about fighting on the Texas card this June 21st, 2025? And how does it compare to your past BKFC events?
Well, I'm finding in my mom's state. So that's the biggest motivation right there to put on the best performance. I'm finding my mom's grounds and my opponent's grounds. So not only do I get to fight in front of my mom, but I get to snipe this man in front of my mom in her own state. It doesn't get any better than that, bro. And my wife's gonna be there, so my wife and my mom, and I'm kid free. So yeah, it's gonna be a good weekend.
That's awesome. Who's in your corner on fight night, and what's their role in motivating you?
So my main coach Damon Bell, my boxing coach Cameron Gillian, and my brother from another mother Trey. We just we're the amigos, bro. We're like a brotherhood you can't break. It's like you have that energy, and you have the right backup, bro. You have the right team, you have the right support system, bro. That's a damn. You put us all together in one room, bro. We become the room. So I'm just excited, bro. I'm excited to go to Texas, go to BKFC, and just lay this man out cold. Just like I told everybody, don't blink when I fight Robbie. Told the world, I told y'all, don't blink. What happened? When lights out. I'm telling you, I'm gonna beat the shit out of this man. You have no idea. Snipe this man. I'm gonna be very patient. I'm gonna snipe this man. This man's gonna go out. I'm gonna be when we interview again. I'll be like, I told you, I told
I
you.
look forward to it. I look forward to
Yeah,
that.
yeah, yeah, man. I'm hyped, bro. I'm hyped.
And then, as your
So,
legacy and bigger picture, where do you see yourself in the BKFC lightweight rankings? And are you aiming for that title shot soon?
from my understanding, I'm supposed to get one after this. I don't know.
Okay.
If they give it to me, they get cool. I'm with it. I want all the smoke. If they don't, and they want me to fight somebody else, I'm cool with that too. But they gotta figure out their pay shit because I ain't fighting for no pennies.
Hmm.
So, it's more of a respect thing. Like I respect BK, but you gotta pay me, man. This is what fight number 6, and I have put on performances every fight, beating people that no, people have even a hard time, and I'm sleeping these people. So, I feel like I should get paid, bro. So I feel like
Absolutely. Yeah.
I feel like I deserve that. And so if the money's right, I'm there. I'm there all day. But the money ain't right, bro. Y'all might not see me fight again. I don't know.
Your bare knuckle journey has had highs and lows. What is the legacy you hope to leave in the sport?
Man, the only legacy I care about is when you hear Ruben Warr, that's a bad motherfucker, bro. That's a bad man. That is a very scary man. That's it. I don't care about nothing else. I ain't got nothing to prove what I got to prove. At 36 years old, 1 year into the BKFC, cleaning out the roster. Made a mistake my last fight, but it's okay. I'll fix it this one. And then when I do it again, then what? You know, it's three knockouts, three vicious knockouts. And we're not just talking,
Yeah,
we're hitting these people that, they get up and they're, delirious. They can't see where they're at, or the ref thinks they can't continue. No, these fools are going to sleep. They don't get up. That's a different type of knockout, bro.
yeah,
So,
absolutely.
people can say what they want, but they ain't doing what I'm doing.
Any crossover aspirations like coaching, commentary, or returning to MMA after your BKFC run?
Depends on where the money's at. Because let's be real, I own my own company now. So it's like, I'm making insane amount of money. I own my own roofing company. So, roofing money is a lot of
Yeah,
money. And I'm in a storm capital. So you can only imagine how busy I am. And it's like, if they really want me to take away from this kind of money, then they gotta pay me. So
absolutely.
it all
Yeah,
depends. It all depends on that, man. I really like. I got a family now, so I gotta think of myself as a business. Just like I own a business, I see myself as a business. So if the numbers line up, I'm down to do any sport. I'll even do bare knuckle with headbutts and elbows, whatever they want, bro. I'll fight, bro. I'm down. I just love to fight, bro. I'm not. I don't care about the rules. Gloves, no
that would be
gloves,
interesting to see a headbutting though. That's for sure.
knees, kicks, elbows. They want it all, bro. I'm all about it. I can fight Thai. I can fight Savant. I can fight kickboxing. I can fight. I can box. I can do MMA. I can do it all, bro.
Be like blood sport.
Yeah, I'm with it. That's what we should do. That's a true martial arts top king. Whatever martial arts you specialize at, whoever wins the top, you're the best.
Yeah. You're not wrong about that. What's your message do you have for the Texas fans coming on June 21st?
Texas, man, I am so hyped for Texas, bro. You have no idea. Oh, I can't wait. Texas looks so much fun. I don't think Texas is even ready for me because I'm a wild man, bro. I don't think Texas is ready for me. So we'll see. But when I snipe their king, I'll be the new king, and they'll have to bring me back. They'll have to bring me back to Texas because I want either. I think Tanaga is gonna beat Soto. Nothing against Soto. I just see them huff and puff after 2 rounds. I don't know. I don't think he's all that. But if he wins, cool. I'll be ready. If Tenaglia wins, I'll be ready. If they want to give it a Bryce Henry, I'll wait. Whoever. I don't know, bro. But if they try to pay me some fucking minimum wage, bro, y'all ain't never see me again.
Hey, I don't blame you. You guys are putting a lot on the line right there for that.
Yeah. So we'll see, bro. I just, me. I'm an entertainer, but I want to get paid.
Absolutely. Do you have any shout outs to sponsors or supporters back in your run in the BKFC?
Hey, shout out to my manager Tyler Paul, the man, the myth, the legend. He's been managing for a very long time, and I'll tell you what, bro, he's got me where I need to be. So I appreciate him. My team, Prime Combat, we're the best in the city of Louisville. So if you guys, anybody in our city looking for a gym, be that gym. And my family, my wife, my kids for being patient. I want to thank God for this journey because God saved me, bro. 9 bullets missed me. Think about that.
That's wild.
9 bullets missed me, and I was 225 pounds in November of 2023. Outs were January 2024, and I fought March 2024. So
That's
that's
insane.
from 225 pounds in November to 155 in March after 4 years of not training.
How long did it take you to feel good, to get going when you were that heavy and to kind of get moving? You just got on the pavement and went.
I just took off, bro. It was like, I didn't want to look at the gym because I was so mad that I had to leave the sport. And I was so mad at myself because at one point I was a pound for pound a top fighter in MMA, and I was so close from UFC, but it was just, I just couldn't do everything, bro. I wasn't Superman. I thought I was Superman, and I was working 96 hours a week, 7 days a week, night shift on top of kids. on top of training in the morning, on top of training during the day, on top of sleeping 2 hours a day, then waking up and going back to work all night. I couldn't do it, bro. And it was depressing to go to the gym because it was like, man, if only I had the opportunity that all these other fighters have. You know, they ain't got the responsibilities I have. If only I didn't have these responsibilities, I'll be where they're at. And I kept telling myself I was so mad that I had to let it go. But I was mad, but I was content because my family they got a roof over their head. They're getting fed. They got toys. They get to go to Disneyland, Disney World. So to me, I was giving them a life I never had, and to me that was more important. So, but to be back at the gym, it was like, man, I miss this shit. Man, I miss this shit. So then I was like, I gotta be back. So then I was like, man, I need 2 days. Now I need 3 days because it became an addiction again. And now I just haven't.
I guess the last question, really, before I let you go, is what's one thing about you that nobody knows but you'd like to share with everyone?
One thing about me, such an isolated man, bro. I don't make no friends. Nobody will tell you at the gym. I go to the gym, gone. I'm done. I don't talk to people. I don't.
You're all business.
Dude, I've been in my house since I was a teenager. You know, it's all I had was myself. All I had to rely on was myself. And so it makes you isolate. It makes you not make friends because you're too busy trying to survive, bro. You're too busy trying to make it. You ain't got time to make friends and go out and party. None of that. Party. I don't go out. I don't even drink. You know, I'm 36. That's probably why I still look like I'm in my 20s because I don't even I don't party. I don't drink. I don't just work, train, be with my kids, watching cartoons at 9 o'clock at night. That's it. And that's all you get from me. One thing, terrified of spiders. Oh man, there was a fat spider the other day. I had to get out of the car. I got out of the car, got my shoe. Oh man, it took me a minute to find the motherfucker. My heart was racing the whole time. And my kids, they're terrified of spiders, so they weren't gonna help me. I had to go do it.
Yeah, you're on your own on that one.
Yeah, I'm on my own on that one. But yeah, I'm terrified of spiders, bro. I don't know what it is about them. It's just, man, it freaks me out. My heart starts racing. I start sweating if there's near me. It don't matter if it's small, big, medium, hairy, non-hairy. Freaks me out, bro. I almost want to cry. But I'm not afraid of anything else. Snakes, I'm cool. Crazy other animals, I'm cool. Sharks, I've been in a shark tank, not afraid. Spiders, terrified.
Jeez. You know how that works, right? Well, how does a guy like you stay on the straight and narrow? Like, you know, I'm like you said, you had no support system when you're younger. You're on your own. How do you get to the point where you are in your life where you have a family that you love and support, and they love and support you? And
bro, I fucked up so many times. I fucked up so many times, bro. I took so many L's. So many L's. I just took the beating, bro. I took the beating and never gave up, and that's why I'm everything I've done, bro. Roofing. I've been robbed by 2 roofing companies, dude. You know, one roofing company. He was my really good friend. We were brothers. Imagine being brothers, and then he robs you, steals from you, and it was like, you know, you got a family to support, and I had to choose quick. I had to choose quick to leave and start my thing and just boot and try to get it going as fast as I could because, you know, at the same time I got house payment, I got 2 kids I gotta feed, I got a wife in Cali that's sexy as hell and can be expensive sometimes. But, you know, I just put a 5.54 carat ring on her finger. You know, it's
bless you, damn.
I had to fucking take a bunch of L's and turn those L's into lessons. Listen to God what He had to tell me, and just enjoy the process. That was it. Everything I did, it just started to make sense in the longer run. Later, as the days went by, everything kind of added up together at the right time, and just started booming, bro. And fighting, BKFC, same thing. You know, I was losing fights I shouldn't have lost because I was like I said, 90 to 100 hours a week, 7 days a week, night shift, and taking care of my kids and taking my son to school, taking my son to speech therapy, occupational therapy, physical therapy. My daughter had cancer, so I had to take her to all these doctor's appointments, and I did all this stuff by myself, on top of working, on top of training. And I was getting so frustrated that I was losing fights. But now that I look back, I'm like, dude, no wonder you're exhausted. And how I really was exhausted. And
Yeah.
so, but now it's like, now I'm in the big leagues, but now I own my company. So now I get to not really working. I love what I do, right? I get to train how I want to train without killing my body and killing my mind. I get to still be with my kids. My kids are with me 24/7. But every time they're with me, they go with me. They go with me to work. I don't ever lose time with them. So everything really is. And my wife's in Cali, so I have no distractions. So I get to focus on what I got to focus on. I see my wife, from time to time right now. But once I build this company to where it needs to be, imagine, bro, like
Yeah,
being
absolutely.
there without even working.
That's the goal,
So
right?
yeah, I feel like I'm building that pedestal and building that table for my family. And this fight is gonna solidify my name. I promise you.
Prediction for this fight. This one
Okay.
coming up June 21st in Texas, Fort Worth, Texas. What is your prediction? How's it going down?
Sleep in this man. Sleep. Good night. That's it. I know my power. I know how hard I've worked. I see it in my head every day. So I know it's meant to happen. I see it. Just like I saw Robbie. I see it.
There you have it, ladies and gentlemen. Ruben Bad Boy Warr. As you said earlier, there's no war without Warr being there. So
yes, sir. There is no party without me, boy. Let me tell you. I am the party, bro. I am the party. If you come hang out with me, you be like, yo, I fuck with this dude. This is a fun ass time, bro.
Absolutely. Well, Ruben, I appreciate you taking your time, hopping on and chatting. I know
yes, sir.
I'm sure you're busy as hell with your business and you're preparing for your fight coming up. I wish you the best of luck. I'm looking forward to watching it. After your victory, we're going to have to hop on and talk again.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Let's go. I'm excited. Thank you for having me. It's an honor, bro. I'm so ready to showcase what I've done, everything I've worked for, everything I've sacrificed my whole entire life for. It's all going to pay off next week, I promise. Y'all going to be like, damn, this man was not playing.
I can't wait. Ladies and gentlemen, make sure you check out Carroll's Corner MMA podcast. Go to CCMMApodcast.com, and we will see you next time at the fights, June 21st. Good luck, Ruben.
Thanks, brother. I appreciate it.